Hey everybody, welcome back to the Maniac. I'm so glad to be with you again. I hope you enjoyed my last unboxing. I'm gonna do a quick tutorial for you today of how to do a bomb pop 4th of July theme nail. I saw this online somewhere on Instagram, I think, or Facebook, I don't remember. Unfortunately, I didn't see who did it. But I just remember scrolling through and I was like, oh, that's cool. It looks like an ice cream, like the bomb pops, you know, you used to eat when you were little. And so I'm gonna recreate this in 2 different ways for you today. I have not tried this yet. This is just like theoretically speaking, I can do it this way. So we're gonna give it a go. I am gonna do the first ones with dip powder using gel. This is the conversion top and base coat from Young Nails. And then I've got 2 dip powders here from Sparkling Co. That's Hello Sailor and Insta Famous for our red and blue. And then for the white, I'm actually gonna paint a base layer of a white gel polish. I'm gonna use Perfect White from Daily Charm. I love their gel polishes. And then the second way is we're gonna do the same thing with the base layer of white, and then we're gonna go ahead and paint on the blue and the red using the Mission Control paints from Young Nails. So fingers crossed this works. So normal prep would happen if I'm probably going to use one of these to do on my nails for 4th of July, but I just don't have time to do the whole set right now. So I just thought I would do these to get them up so that if you want to do it for 4th of July, I can get it up quickly. But you know, I would normally put a base down or prep the nail and all that. I did buff these nail tips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Charm gel. Their gels are just like so smooth and silky. I love them. I want to buy the whole line. Maybe Black Friday. But I can't decide between this one and Luxa Polish, which I also really love. I just tried their gels for the first time and their blooming gel. It was amazing, so really exciting. My mom's getting a FaceTime call, don't mind that. And we'll probably only need 1 coat because we are gonna like cover this up with some dip powder colors. Okay, so sorry about that little interruption, but I've cured this white gel here. And it looks pretty good. Since this isn't on the client, I probably would smooth this out and do another coat here. I didn't smooth it out like I did with this one, so it's not completely smooth, but for the sake of time, I'm gonna just go ahead and continue on. So this gel doesn't have too much of a tacky layer once it's cured. So if it did have a really good tacky layer, I could actually probably just put this straight on to the gel polish. But we're going to use the caption base. All right, so we've got, again, Insta Famous and Hello Sailor from Sparkling Co. To apply these, I'm just gonna use some e.l.f. brushes. I just get these at Target. They're like, these ones are $3. They have some that are $1. Super cheap because they get messed up and they get glitter in them and all that kind of stuff. So I don't want to have to worry about using my nice brushes for something like this. So I'm going to go ahead and take the conversion base polish, and this will have a good tacky layer. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick slight cure on it. I generally, if I'm doing a full dip, I would not cure it. But since I'm going to kind of pat these colors in to make an effect, I'm going to go ahead and try doing just a really quick little cure just so that it's not going to muck up my brush. So I'm going to just give that a quick 10-second cure. And I think I only did 1, huh? Oops. Pay attention. I'm going to do 2 of these and I'm going to show you this special reason at the end. So I was going to say also, you can probably do this with glitter as well. I was thinking about doing 3, but I just don't have time. So I have this blue and red glitter from Daily Charm that would probably work really nicely as well. So let me just give that its 10 seconds. Okay. So now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and put the red. So I'm just going to go ahead and let me zoom in here for you guys so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make a big mess, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take the red and tap it in here, and then I'm just gonna kind of dab it on, because I'm gonna do a couple layers to get the effect that I want. And again, you know, we're just adding this so that the white is still gonna show underneath. Okay, so here comes the blue on this end. Okay, so you can kind of see our little bomb pop there. Okay, so now that that is good, I am going to do the other one real quickly. Here's my red. And then my blue. Okay. So we got those two in there. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put another coat of the conversion base and then do another layer. So we're gonna do the same thing we did before. And I'm just gonna carefully kind of put this on here, and then I'm gonna do the red. Try not to like contaminate, make sure it's not pulling off a bunch. So see, there's some red on the brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I wipe that on a clean spot just so I get any of that excess. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pull it through. Okay, let's see, so I kind of got a little bit of the red there. Okay, so you wanna be careful of that when you're doing this, you get that red off of there. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing here. Okay, so I'm just covering up the blue and the red first because, again, I'm trying to get it covered so that I'm not lifting it off as I'm putting it onto the white. And actually what I'm going to do this time is when I do the white, I'm going to pull it through from the white down so that I'm not going over with the other colors. Does that make sense? So it's a little bit, you know, painstaking, but it will look good in the end. Okay, so those are done. I'm gonna give those a 10-second cure just to get all the goopiness off so that we can have, you know, we'll have a good sticky layer that we can put this in, but it's not gonna be too crazy. So those are out. So here we go again. We're gonna do red and give it a good dip. Same for this one. And blue. Same here. So see, now that color is coming in. It's a nice deep blue, deep red with those two layers on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pop that in and cure it the rest of the way, which I didn't do last time, but because I'm gonna go ahead and top coat now, I wanna make sure that that base that's on there is fully cured this time because we're not adding another layer of base on top. Okay, so those are fully cured. Okay, and the base is sticky still, so the white is still sticky, so just be very careful. Okay, so you can see here that some of it's kind of transferred, but I'm not too worried about that because it's going to kind of just add to the overall look. It's fine. If you want to be meticulously careful, please go for it. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to start on the white and pull down so that I'm only getting on the red, so that I'm not pulling the red into the blue or the red into the white. Okay. Make sure I get those edges. And then while I'm on red, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing from the white down. Now see all that red on there? I'm wiping that off onto a clean spot. Okay, and then once that's wiped clean, I'm going to flip them over and I'm going to do the same thing in the opposite direction. Okay, so this is going to let me pull through the blue, but not red to blue. And the blue doesn't look like the pigmentation comes off as much as the red, so I kind of feel like I can go ahead and pull through here more than once. Okay, so now we got the whites completely covered, the red's been pulled through from the other side, and that blue, just a little bit of pigment compared to the red, right? So keep an eye on that when you're doing it. Okay, so those look pretty good. They're even like shaped like little candy corns, but 4th of July ones. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give those a 60-second cure. Okay, and our conversion top does have a dispersion layer, a tacky layer on top. So I'm gonna take my lint-free wipe and some Young Nails swipe, and I'm gonna go ahead and wipe these clean. Okay, there we go. So again, this was my first try. So the things I probably would have done differently, I would have been more careful when spreading this. I did pull it through once after having been on the red. And as you saw before I cleaned the table, the red is much more pigmented than the blue is. So it just shows more. So I'd be a little bit more careful with that. If you were really picky about it and you wanted to go over it some more with some more white to kind of whiten that up, you can. I kind of like this look. You know, it's not perfectly straight across, but that's what the Bomb Pops look like. They're kind of, you know, kind of in sections, but it's not like perfectly straight across. So that's fun. And then I'll show you my other little magic trick here at the end. All right, so this next part is the one I'm a little iffy about because I'm going to use the mission control. And I'm hoping that this is going to come out the way I envisioned it, but you know, we'll just have to see. As I always say, that's what real life is like, you know, you got to give it a try. And sometimes it doesn't work out. We've had failures on here, right? If you've been watching me for long enough, you know I don't always do things perfectly well. All right, so again, and this is what I was talking about before, I want to make sure I smooth this end to end so that it goes nice and even once it disperses itself. Okay, so we're going to do white, and then again on top of this is where we're going to put that mission control gel paint on the edges and kind of feather it. I think I'm going to use an ombre brush, but we'll see if that works. The great thing about using mission control gel paints for stuff like this is that it's not set until it cures. So if I muck it up, we're still okay. All right, so we've got that charm gel on there. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a 60-second cure. Okay, all right. So we have these, and again, there's not really, I mean, there's a tiny bit of tack, but really not that much to speak of. So I am gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna use, this is just a cheap brush I got off of Amazon, and it has two sides. Obviously this side is a little smaller than this side is, but I'm not really worried about that. We'll just kind of see how it goes. So we'll zoom in here. Okay, so I'll use blue. I'm gonna do the blue at the edge this time, just, you know, for fun. Okay, so I'm just kind of getting it where I want it to be right now. And, you know, we'll use a couple different layers of this. I also got a lint-free wipe and just put some swipe on there so I can easily wipe the brush off. Because what I think I'm gonna do is try and see if I can sort of feather it a little bit. See that? So it kind of looks like it's not melting, but maybe dripping. I don't know. What do you think? Get a little more. Do the same thing in here. Again, this, I'm just trying, you know? See how it looks. Okay, that's not bad. Let's do the other one. So I put that one on a little thicker. A little bit more paint that time. Wipe my brush off. And I'm just gonna kind of just like patting it, like pushing it in a little bit. I mean, worth a try, right? I may be pulling it like too far. I don't know. Let's see. A little more paint on here. And again, feel free to experiment. So try it your own way, okay? So there's those two. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it around and do the red. Okay, so go ahead and wipe my brush. Give this just a little tap here. That one went better, huh? Looks a little more graduated. Not too bad. All right. We are going to do another coat, like I said, so never fear. Come on now. Okay, flip this over, wipe, just give it a little tap here. I don't like that one as much. So, you know, you're gonna have to kind of play with it. So let's go ahead and give those a 30-second clear. And then we'll add some more. Okay, so those are set. So see these here too, these edges? And make sure you get all the way down there. So I've got myself a new little wipe because you saw how much that gunked mine up. So I'm back on my blue side here. I'm gonna do another layer. I'm gonna pay special attention to those edges. And I'm just, since I've pretty much got that edge kind of the way I want it, I'm gonna just try pulling it all the way, not all the way, but closer through. And since I've got that kind of already pulled, I'm gonna just try and, well, that's a little better. I don't, you know, you don't want there to be a divisive line, which is why we're trying to kind of fade it. But another way you might be able to do this is using an actual ombre brush. But I didn't grab that out, so we're just gonna do it this way for now. So I got all those edges and I'm just gonna pull it down, and I'm kind of pulling off when I get sort of towards the end so that I can kind of get that, you know, smeared sort of, or ombre look, okay? So different look than with the dip powder, but I still like it. So let's go ahead and do our red. And again, you know, this is just experimentation. I just thought, gosh, it would be cool to recreate that Bomb Pop, which I think the one that I saw, she did it with dip powder, which is great. I tried the dip powder with gel versus the regular like resin system. I don't use the resin all that often because it kind of bugs my allergies. So I try and use the gel if at all possible. So again, I'm just kind of feathering this, just pulling it down a little bit. And want to, you know, even this out for sure because that's kind of off a little bit. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so let's go ahead. I do want to kind of try and fix this if I can figure out how. Okay, it's a little better. going over. Okay. That actually kind of works better to pull from this side, and that gives it sort of the graduated or ombre effect that we're looking for. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and give those a full 60-second cure. Okay, so those are done. I'm gonna just give them a quick top coat and I will be right back. All right, so what I've done is I've gotten these top coated. This is the surprise part. So these are our dip powder versions, and these are our Mission Control gel paint versions, right? So you can see kind of the difference between the two. And what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna try putting over top this holographic unicorn powder from Daily Charm. I just got this in that last video I showed you. It was in my unboxing, and they have an awesome rainbow that they cover with that, and it looks so cool. So I thought I'd try it on here, which is why I made two. So I just used the Sparkling Code gel top on here. I'm gonna just give this a quick, I mean like 7-second cure, and then that way it'll still be a little tacky so that I can rub in this unicorn, holographic unicorn. Okay. Okay. All right, so this works just like a chrome powder. So I've got a little eyeshadow applicator, and I'm just gonna tap it on here and rub. And so holographic powder is usually not super translucent. It's generally pretty opaque. So I don't want to put a ton on to cover it because I want to sort of be able to see that color underneath. And the one that I saw on Daily Charm was with pigment and neon pigment. So it was very bright. These are not as bright, so it's not going to have the exact kind of same effect as those did. But I just wanted to see what it would look like. I thought it'd be kind of a added bonus. But isn't this so beautiful though? The holographic unicorn chrome. It's phenomenal. I love it. I might have put this one on too dark, huh? All right. And also the dip powder version is subtler, it's lighter. If you look at it right next to the Mission Control paint are much more pigmented. So that could also have something to do with why this one is showing the color differences and this one is not, especially on camera, you can't see it as well. But it's a great example of what the chrome looks like. All right, so I'm going to top coat these and then I'll give you a final look at the end. Thanks so much for joining me today on the Mani Maniac. As always, please subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. Take a look around my channel, see if there's anything else. If you have comments, questions, or something you'd like to see, do not hesitate to hit me up down in the comments. I try and check them as often as possible. Also, head over to Instagram and follow me there. I'd love to see you there. Thanks so much for joining me today, and we'll catch you next time on the Mani Maniac.